for a bit where he just goes, "I'm your dad." That's me.
So can anyone do me a favor and tell me if the stream is going through right now?
It is.
We're live! And
We're
since
live.
somebody already tweeted about it, I'm going to be bad and not tweet about it. So if you have Twitter and want to just retweet the live stream announcement that someone else made, I think it was Corey, then please do that. Cause I'm gonna skip my last minute tweet because someone already did it. So thank you. Let me get my notes open.
Me, but...
Well, somebody with a Twitter did it that plays in this podcast. I do not have it memorized too. I'm not that good. So long time no see, everybody. We took a little bit of a break because life had me in a really strong chokehold, but now I'm de-stressed, or mostly de-stressed and ready to go. If you're new here, my name is Avery, and I will be your lead idiot, or should I say dungeon master for tonight. I use they, he pronouns, and before we jump into today's session, I'm going to have all the players go around and introduce themselves. So I'm just going to start at the top. We have our dynamic duo who's playing in a different location and playing together in person. So Alicia and Flux, you want to go?
Hi, my name is Alicia. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Callie, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Flexi. I go by he or they. I play as Kokyo, who goes by he, she, or they pronouns.
And then Caleb, if you're up to it.
Hi, I'm Caleb. I use they, them pronouns. I play friends who uses he and they right now.
And Corey.
Oh, I'm Corey. My pronouns are he, they, and I play Lim, whose pronouns are also he, they.
And then Stormy.
Hi, my name's Stormy. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Fynn Goldenrod, who also uses he, him pronouns.
And then last but not least, we have Hale, who's going to be late tonight or potentially missing it. They had an appointment. Either way, Hale uses they, he pronouns and plays Basil, he, him. So that's a little introduction for you. And kind of connected to introductions and getting us set up. If you missed earlier episodes or if you're not able to watch the whole episode live tonight, don't worry, we do have a YouTube. So if you search Mothcat Gaming on YouTube or Mistakes Were Made on Spotify, you can catch up. So I believe it's 1 through 6 that's on YouTube right now, and then Spotify we only have 1 through 3 up, but we hope to get the rest of them up soon. And kind of continuing the setup, as you notice, the mature filter is on, which means that both streamers and viewers should be over 18. I do this not because I plan this to be super raunchy, but because of the violence and like the very improv nature where we never really know what's going to happen. Viewer discretion is advised. So, for triggers, common triggers you can see in D&D are violence and combat, swearing, potty humor, mind control, amnesia, betrayal, backstabbing. Any other triggers that come up will be added to the YouTube description. So if you're really concerned about triggers, wait till the episode appears on YouTube, and then you'll have all the triggers there for you. This episode is going to run 9:10 to 10:45 with a 5-minute break, somewhere-ish halfway. Usually it's not quite halfway, but somewhere in the middle there. Kind of continuing this, I want to I just want to say a big thank you to the cast for supporting me, working hard on the wiki and transcripts, and just playing with me, letting me DM since I'm a big baby at this. I also want to thank the Little Churro on Twitter and Nido Sprout for making art for this podcast. We also have Weeb_Vic Art, who also has made some art. And if you want to further support creators, whether it's artists or homebrew makers, we are in the process of adding credits to both social media and our wiki, so you can check out and support anyone and everyone who's been a part of this podcast through those sources. And if you don't know where to find those links, it is simple as going to Twitter. So if you were to go on Twitter, you could go to the profile MWM_pod, and we have a link that leads you to all of our links right on our Twitter. So thank you for listening to those disclaimers. And without further ado, let's get into the session recap. So tonight we pick off from last session. So last session, aka in episode 6, the party rested at a local inn called the Nocturnal Soul, that is owned and operated by 2 vampires. The party got to know End, the purple NPC that they recently rescued and met, and friends had a fireside chat with the party about their past and why they're looking for their daughter. The next morning, I don't know why I said the next morning. No, it is the next morning. Okay, either way, last session, Fynn also encountered a friendly calico dragonborn named Grant, who taught him how to ice skate. Friends and Lim and Sai took pictures with the Stephen the fairy camera, who wanted Fynn to fall, and it was a really funny moment. The party also reunited with their friend of sorts, I guess you could say, or acquaintance, agent / info broker Farron, who gave them a vague but helpful information regarding many of the questions that they've been asking. Farron teleported the party to Finn's hometown, Skydstead, which is located in the country of Oshel, to resolve some of Finn's lingering problems and answer the party's burning questions. Fynn, upon arrival, immediately disguised himself using the Remembered Skill patch and told the party that he knows where to go, leading them all towards his parents' church. And because it's been a while and because we might have some new folks, adding on to that session recap, I just wanted to list some key points. So, key point number 1, Friends has a daughter who is missing. She went missing after forging End's approval to go on a super dangerous mission where she was to serve as the bodyguard for the deity known as the Traveler. The Traveler it's really unconfirmed what they are, but they're probably a demigod at this point. It's unclear why the Raven Queen and her siblings hate them, but they do, and they likely want to hurt or kill the Traveler. You're still kind of figuring those details out. The Traveler is sick and elusive. You don't know where they are. Gods have the ability to corrupt people and force them to share their morality alignment. Other gods, including demigods, seem to be the only things capable of curing people of corruption. Finn's warlock patron is mysterious and elusive, and although his party members are unaware of it, in a dream another patron introduced themselves to Fynn and didn't quite offer, but kind of made their presence known, so Fynn has some thinking to do about patrons. That patron that was introduced is a tarot patron from my own original homebrew, Pact of the Tarot Patron. The party's current goal is to learn more about corruption, gain guild patches so they can enter Remembrance Guild billings and gain access to databases, and to help find Ferenza's daughter. They also have a goal of learning about Finn's parents and figuring out what nefarious things have been happening at the local church in the Skydstead. So, everybody, we start with Farron having teleported you to Skydstead directly from the Draco Republic. Because the Draco Republic was very wintry and you were bundled up in winter gear, you're looking really out of place right now. You're wearing way too many layers. It is fall, so it's chilly, but you have full-on winter gear, so you look ridiculous. You're a little bit sweaty, a little bit uncomfortable. Skydstead is a flat town surrounded by farmland. There's a lot of cobblestone roads and wooden buildings. There's a small town square where holidays and festivals take place. The town is ruled by a council of 5 elders who kind of call the shots, and this whole area has a really small town America. If you've seen Footloose sort of vibe. No one here really has secrets, and it's pretty obvious because of the small town nature of this location that you are outsiders. The area you are in right now is the southern outskirts of town, so you're not quite in town yet. You can see in the distance some buildings, which there's probably a tavern, general store, that sort of stuff. But right now you're really on, if you look at let me make sure the map's on the right thing. As you can see from the Roll20 map, you're on this dirt road. There's some leaves having changed color from the seasons. Some leaves are already fallen off onto the ground. You need to walk into town, and as you kind of process that Farron's leaving again after leaving you with both answers and more questions, you realize, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Why don't you all do a perception check real quick for me?
First roll of the night.
Let's do it.
3.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one today.
I think Fynn is more concerned with making sure his disguise is okay and not paying attention.
Oh yeah, guys, it's gonna be a good night.
Whoa!
First nat 20 of the night.
Nice,
Yeah!
Lim, nice.
Either
Lim's-
that,
You can gaze into the future.
either that, or that's gonna be the only good roll we have.
Right?
14's not bad.
So, is
What decimal
friends, Lim, and Fynn the only one doing perception checks right now?
Callie should be coming through soon.
Okay,
There we go.
there we go.
We got
the
Koku.
lag.
I mean, if you don't want to look, that's fine. I was just. Callie's like, I don't see anything. Just kidding.
I rolled an 18. I don't know why it's not coming through.
Okay, I believe you. So,
I will
that's all right.
while you're
Yeah, you could just tell me if you need to. If that's fine, I trust you. So, everyone but Fynn seems to realize that as you all were talking after being teleported, it's like you were talking and kind of like playing with Farron a bit. At least Friends was. They were kind of. I remember Friends trying to pickpocket Farron, and that was pretty funny. Anyway, you all, everyone except Fynn. So I guess Fynn, I guess you were just too distracted and worried about your skies. But as you were talking, people were walking on this path, right? And so as you were walking, you failed. Everyone but Fynn realized that like someone's looking at him, and you all turn to see there's a little turtle girl wearing like overalls. She's got like a painted red shell. And on her shell, she has the symbol of Kadros, who is one of the Green's brother. She appeared to be carrying a basket of apples, which upon seeing you, she has dropped, and they're now all rolling across the ground. And she apparently is so shocked to see all of you that she's just standing there with her mouth wide open, just kind of waiting for you to explain yourselves.
In disguise. So I want to submit a correction. Last time, I believe I said I look like Matt Mercer circa the beginning of campaign 2 of Critical Role. I actually want to look like Matt Mercer at the start of Alexandria Unlimited, so kind of longer brown hair with the little beard thing that he has. I look like a pale-skinned human, and I think you know what? I want to be wearing vestments of Kadros, but like a little bit different than what they would be wearing here. Like maybe like I'm wearing like an extra sash over it or something to be like, oh, I'm from out of town. And immediately I just run over and I'm like, oh dear, let me help you with those. And I just bend down and I start helping them put them back in. I'm so sorry if I frightened you.
So it takes her like a second to regain her composure, and she just goes, thank you, I think. Are you demons? Because my mommy said only demons can do that.
I gesture to the fact that I'm wearing vestments of Kadros. I just go, well, it would be a little mean for a devil to pretend to be from your faith, wouldn't it?
She kind of squints and like really stares at your little Kadra symbol, which is a 3-eyed raven. And just like slowly, ever so slowly, she goes, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And she kind of gives the whole party a once over. And then she says, so are you here for the festival?
Yes.
Festival?
Would Fynn know what this festival is? Well, because this is my hometown, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. But how long has Fynn been away from his hometown?
Little under a year, I think.
A little under a year. So why don't you
Yeah.
roll history with advantage?
Wait, hold on. 17.
Okay, yeah. So you're not really sure what exact festival it is because your hometown has a lot of festivals during like the harvest season, the fall season, but you know it's probably one of the fall ones, and that it's a big deal and it tends to lead a lot of really to a lot of church gatherings, like more people go to church more than often. They go to church longer than usual. Um, if there was a good time to get a lot of people in one space and corrupt them, this would be a great time to do it. So you might want to you might want to get to work and figure out who's getting corrupted, where, and how you can stop it.
In character, I play dumb, and I go, no, well, admittedly, it is a little selfish. I merely wanted to pass through here because I heard that there were other servants of Kadros who were quite enthusiastic, and I wanted to learn their secret, how they do it. You wouldn't happen to know who these people are, would you?
Well, she goes, I'm really bad at names, but a lot of the big bossy church people are supposed to be wandering the streets for the festival in a line. I think my mommy called it a parade or something. Um so that's happening, in town. I don't know why you like that much, cuz I like the food stalls better. The food's really yummy.
As the turtle girl says, everyone all together, I look at the party and I make like an oh shit face, and then I turn back and I'm just like, that sounds wonderful. Sounds like an excellent time for me to get some answers. I know you said you're bad with names, but would you be so kind as to lead us to around where this would be?
Yeah, I'm bad with names, but I know faces. And honestly, I come up with nicknames that are way better. Like, there's this one ASMR lady that's so mean, so I just call her Poo Poo Pee Pee Head. My mommy says I can't say that out loud, but you seem like you could keep a secret, so I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, I will not tell this mean lady that you called her that.
I like you already.
Oh God, if only she knew. This whole time. I don't happen to recognize this kid, do I? It's a small town, right? So.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm not
I
gonna
wouldn't
make you
say
roll
her
for...
name in character.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you roll for this one, but you do recognize her. She is the granddaughter of one of the local orchard owners, so that makes sense why she has a bunch of apples, because her family owns an orchard. Her name's Emily.
Emily, okay.
Yeah, and she's pretty young too. She's like 6 or something. She's just a little kid.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I sort of get like the final apple into the basket, and I sort of look at my companions and I go, well, shall we to the festival?
Why do I get the feeling this isn't the first time that we've followed a small child into like a mission before?
This is the first time on stream, to be fair.
Valid.
Yeah, because Session Zero off stream, it was little June.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hope doing it. I hope June's doing okay. He deserves.
Who was grounded at the time, by the way?
Who was grounded?
Oh, good. Oh, that's right. Well, this kid isn't grounded, so we're not going to be in as big a trouble.
Yep, June's
hopefully.
June's doing great, selling his horrendous pumpkin lemonade.
Ugh. I think there's probably still a bottle of that pumpkin lemonade like in Lim's bag. Never drank it. Only bought it just to be nice.
I'll sort of gesture for Emily to sort of like lead us into town, kind of in the adult way of like, you've got something important, show me. Even though I definitely know the way, don't worry about it.
She is super excited. She goes, I want to be a tour guide when I'm older. I've been practicing. I'm super good at it. And plot twist, she's not super good at it. She accidentally, for the first 5 minutes, she accidentally leads you away from town, realizes she's going the wrong direction, and then you have to backtrack. And then you're finally on your way to town. So I'm going to switch the picture. Yay. So, You are now on the outskirts of town. You're still in like the southern part. There's like a stream that separates different parts of town, so you do end up crossing a bridge. And this town, this small town, it may be small, but it's so busy with the festival going on. So a lot of the businesses, whether it's restaurants or clothing stores, a lot of them are closed because they have stalls out front that are like selling specialized goods just for the festival. So you can't really go in a lot of buildings right now because they're closed with stalls kind of blocking the way. And she really is giving you a tour. She's like saying, "Oh, that's this is the so and so store run by so and so." She's going into like much more detail than she really needs to. There is a fair crowd that, upon noticing all your winter gear, kind of gives you like a weird look, but otherwise they don't really say anything. So you're weaving through this crowd, and she's kind of leading you. Does anyone get distracted by the food? Do you want to stop by a stall?
I get distracted by the food.
Kokia does, of course.
Kokia also still has her chef hat on from when she was cooking in the kitchen.
Oh, that's right.
I got food in it.
All right, so Flux, why don't you roll a D4 for me, and I'll let you know what you find.
You find a D4 on the ground.
You find a rock.
Biscuits? Moon.
You found the dice set. Yeah. Trying so hard not to correct Emily because I know where everything is, and she's like, "Oh, this is over here," and I'm like, "Actually, you're trying really hard not to correct her character."
I say this kid really struggles with directions, mixing up left and right, north and south. Like how she manages to get home, you don't know. So, dear Kokia, so you really are trying to focus, but God, the smell of food, especially your like little chef's soul, you're like, I gotta stop. So there's this one stall. It's run by this little frog person who's using a stool to like be seen over the table. The little frog is like just like red and black, looks kind of like a ladybug almost. They have gloves on, so you're not gonna get poisoned, so don't worry about that. And they are selling kebabs, so they got like chicken, peppers, potatoes, like basically a mix of chicken and vegetables on a stick, and then they have it grilled, and it looks like they've have a few different choices of sauces. One's labeled sweet, one's labeled spicy, and one's labeled Inferno. Which do you get one? What kind of sauce do you want it? What's going on?
Yeah, I want to get like a all vegetable one, and I want to get some of the. I want to like get the sweet sauce on it, but also kind of want to get a little bit of the Inferno.
Oh yeah,
Just to
So
try it
like
out.
when you choose the Inferno. So, Flux, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
Oh.
So, you're eating this like it tastes good, but you're eating this like there's no spice in it at all. Meanwhile, there's a furbolg man who with just like brown and white fur who comes up next to you and gets the same thing. You're eating it fine, yet he takes one bite and literal flames come out of his mouth.
Kokia wishes she failed.
I kind of wish I failed.
Seeing this, Lim would also like to try a kebab.
All right, con saving throw. And Story makes a good point. You can take another bite and make another con save and see what happens.
There you go.
I'm down with that.
I mean, you gotta eat the whole kebab.
I want to offer some to Dad as well.
Second bite, still immune.
Cookie is like, yeah, it's spicy, but not that spicy.
Ooh, tingly.
Trying to figure out whether or not Doodle will help herself.
Well, do you want your Martin to breathe flames? Is the real question.
I mean, yes, but also I no, because I don't think that a stoat can handle that.
Yeah. So, if you really want to breathe flames, I will let you choose to fail the con save if you want to have a little fiery time.
I'll go ahead and fail it.
All right, so it takes so you take one bite after another, and it's not till you're like halfway down the kebab that you feel heat rising in your throat, and you turn. Luckily, you turn away from the stall, and not only do you breathe fire, but you breathe fire after letting out like a super loud burp.
That's hilarious.
And the little frog person that was manning the stand, their name is Honey. They just go, I'm glad you like it so much. A lot of people complain about the heat, but you, my friend, you seem like you deal with flames well.
I do. You want to trade recipes?
My name may be Honey, but it should be traded because I love a good recipe swap. Why don't you leave a page here in this bin, and she shows you this bin where it says leave a recipe, take a recipe, and I'll put one in too, and you can just pick out one you like.
I'm putting a recipe in for like my juiced up version of strawberry jam.
Oh, nice.
I lean over to Lim upon noticing this, and I just go, in my normal voice, I'm just like, don't worry, half of it is just a bunch of quiches. These people are all squares.
What's a quiche?
You can't hear me!
That was for me.
That was for
Lim
Lim,
is like
thank you.
having like a vivid moment here watching Kokia burp literal flames, and I just turn and look back at Fynn like, right, sure.
We're not getting this.
But I'm like inside, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna eat Kokia's food again because I'm scared now. The fear is
her
real.
anymore. Yeah. I would like to turn to Emily and do the like little bend down thing that you do with like really short kids, and just go, I have to apologize. I don't have a lot of money on me, but I do want to compensate you for taking us through this place and leading us here. Would you like me to buy you? Well, I look around. Is there like a look? I know kids like sweets. Is there like a I'm looking for Willy Wonka. All right.
Okay.
You're looking for a candy stall.
Does someone have a candy stall? Yeah, I forgot the word.
There's not Willy Wonka, but there is a candy stall, and there's quite a commotion near it. So the
Billy
actual
Wonka.
stall owner is scowling at this half elf. There's a half elf who's basically Caucasian, so fair skinned. They've got kind of like straw blonde hair, blue eyes, tons of freckles on their face. They got a wizard-like brown hat on that's decorated with a whole bunch of autumn leaves along the brim and along like the edges. They've got like a tannish white shirt that's mostly hidden by like an orangey red shawl, kind of like an orange red gradient shawl. They got brown pants on, black boots, and kind of taking over this stall and commandeering it for themselves. Like there's no seats in front of the stall, but they are sitting on the table of the stall, and in the air they are using illusion magic, and they're using just little small illusions. And what's really cool about their magic is it's not just light, they're like manipulating leaves to form these illusions. Like there's a little human girl with that basically looks like the Wendy's logo. That girl, there's a little human girl that looks like that, and she's just like oohing and eyeing as this elf is like twisting or twirling these leaves in the air with magic, and they're turning them into, a cat, and then a dog, and then a giraffe, and just like it seems like they're taking requests and like And like Fynn, you start to ask Emily a question, and like halfway through, she's looking over your shoulder at this elf. And she's like totally
That
like
also
in
works.
love.
All right, let's go see the person doing the very easy cantrip magic anyway. I'll follow her. I just realized that minor illusion is not. I'm going under the guise of like a cleric, right? Because I have all these like cleric cantrips now because of my little funky little warlock pact boon. Thank you, Nick. I'm like, I want to just show off and also do minor illusion, but that's going to blow my cover because it is not a cleric spell. So I'm like, fuck. Fynn has a flashback to his parents warning him not to do a different class other than cleric because minor illusion's not all it's cracked up to be. And there's a moment where he's just like, well, they were fucking wrong. And I follow Emily kind of shaking off the moment. And I'll just, I guess I will watch, but I'll also sort of look at what kind of candy they have and try in vain to get Emily's attention to be like, which one would you like?
Yeah, so
I'll get you anything within reason.
So you're like
I'm not buying the whole
desperately
thing.
you're like desperately trying to get this kid's attention, but like she must not see a lot of magic in her day-to-day life because like she thinks this elf is like the coolest thing ever. And as they are continuing to do magic, there's more of a crowd draws, and it seems to be a good thing until Fynn, you recognize this voice. It is the voice of the sheriff. She lets out a low, clearing her throat. And for those that aren't Fynn and don't know this lady, I shouldn't say lady, this person already, this is a drow with dark purple skin, short blonde hair. Her eyes are fully white. She has a lightly scarred face. She's wearing a green and white plaid shirt and blue pants and brown boots. She has a little shiny golden sheriff star in her chest pocket. And after clearing her throat, the crowd parts a bit, and she kind of takes a step forward and she goes, how hard is it for you to understand a simple order? I told you you cannot perform without a permit. Where is your permit? I've asked you like 3 times just today where your permit is. And Wit, who had been, doing some illusion spells with the leaves, drops the leaves to focus their attention on her, and they just go, oh, but I do have a permit. And she goes, really? Hand it here. And she lays her hand up flat, and they do some weird motion with their hands and pull something out of thin air, and it isn't until they place it flat in her palm that you all see that it's a leaf and not a permit. And she just goes, if I wanted a leaf, I'd pick one up off the ground. Give me a permit, or I'll arrest you right now. And I mean arrest. I'm sick of giving you tickets because tickets mean nothing to you. As it is, the last time I gave you a ticket, you ripped it up and ate it. What kind of weirdo eats a ticket? And for here, I'm gonna pause and see if the party wants to react at all.
I think there was a thing with Ferenz going on in general chat while this is happening.
Oh yeah, we've just I'll say that Lim has taken the moment while they're all having their talk to escort Ferenz to a nearby inn to go rest for the day, since they're feeling a little sickly from the teleporting.
Yep, we can have that happen. I'm just gonna message Caleb real quick.
I have kind of a weird idea. I kind of sidle up behind the half-elf while the sheriff is yelling at them. And I just want to like whisper like, I'm going to cover for you. Is it all right if I touch you? I can help.
And with the sheriff being right within like earshot, they can't verbally reply, so they like twirl a leaf on their hat, and as they twirl their leaf, the word yes forms on the back of it, and then almost as soon as it appeared on the leaf, the word fades away again.
Okay. I clap a hand on this person's shoulder, and I just go, Sheriff, excuse me, I believe this, person probably left it at home. If you just give them a moment, I'm sure they could probably go and find it. And I would like to cast guidance on, on the half-elf.
All right.
To, like, sell the lie if they want to say anything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you make the check though. So why don't you roll a persuasion check? And since I don't have this character's sheet quite ready yet, so if you wanna roll it and use guidance on yourself, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then
I can use one hand to, like, kind of buddy up to the half-elf, and then other hand to guidance myself. Yeah.
And then Callie and Lim, because I saw that you typed that you want to watch for anyone.
For this, sorry.
Keeping like an eye on you, moving through town. Why don't you do your choice of perception or investigation?
How about I'll let Callie roll with advantage, because technically I said that Lim was looking for clothing.
Avery, would it be okay if I made a deception? Because I don't actually know if they have the permit.
Oh yeah, that works.
This is kind of a lie.
Yeah, your choice. Go for it.
Okay. Cool.
So Corey, you're gonna let me do advantage instead?
Yeah, just roll with advantage, and we'll say that I was just assisting.
Okay. With the D4, my deception check is a 21.
Ooh, nice. So wait, were you posing as like a religious figure right now, or just like a really like strong believer in Kadros?
I was thinking I'd be wearing vestments, but clearly not Skystead vestments.
Okay, so
if that makes sense. So similar to what I have actually in my inventory, but like kind of with an out-of-town flair, like a little more. I think a little more flashy than what people would wear around here.
So you seem flashy and important, and you seem respectable, if I can talk to her compared to our new friend here. So she just goes, well, the next time I see you, you better have it on you, or you really are going to jail. And with a heavy sigh, she walks away.
Oh, excuse me. Sheriff? I didn't catch your name. Do you mind? I actually need a little bit of help with something. If you're not too busy. I know you've got to watch people for the festival and all that, but, may I ask you a question?
So, at this, she, like, softly sighs once more because she's just been so busy today with the festival, and she turns her back around to face you, and she goes, the name's Jamie Brimstone, but you can just call me Sheriff or Sheriff Brimstone. Either or is just as the same to me, and, depends on what kind of help you need, I guess.
Just directions. I was wondering, I'm actually looking for 2 individuals who I've heard are very enthusiastic about gestures to my Kadros pin. I was interested in maybe speaking with them. I know there's a festival and they're running around. Do you know where I could find them? Mr. and Mrs. Goldenrod?
Oh yes, they're probably preparing for the parade down at the center of town, because that's where the most space is to do the floats and whatnot. So you're in the southern part right now. You're gonna need to walk. It's not too far. I'd say roughly 5 blocks just further straight this way, and you should get to the center. Although they're pretty busy, they might not have a chance to talk to you.
It's all right. Not to sound pushy, but I'm very good at getting people to listen to me when I need to. After all, my faith is quite strong, but I've heard their faith is stronger.
You do seem good with words, so I'm
Cute.
glad I was able to help. But I have a lot of stuff to do.
Yes, of course.
Unfortunately, they, and she motions to your little wizard friend behind you, aren't the only ones that I have to deal with today. So I'm gonna move on.
No worries. Thank you for your time, Sheriff.
No worries. Just wish I got paid more. She sighs and she finally walks away. So Callie rolled a 13 for perception, and okay, yes, I guess it was only Callie rolling. So I'm gonna say that Callie, you are trying to keep an eye out, but this conversation is really distracting, and like the wizard, is it simple magic? Yes, but there's something about them that's pretty distracting too. So it takes you a while to notice, but there are two people that, even though there's a crowd, it feels like they're following you. And you're not really sure. I mean, it feels like they're following you, but they're not really sure they're after you, but they get your attention. So you do notice two people that are drawn to you, or at least drawn to you, maybe someone else. But you fail to notice the third person. And the third person that approaches is this really tall Goliath man wearing a red shirt and like tannish brown pants. He's got like sandals on and a straw hat. And upon seeing our new friend, he says, "God damn, I turn a corner and I feel like every corner I turn around, you're there. I'm really sick of seeing you in my town. All you do is spread bullshit about our gods. And not just bullshit, write out slander. Like, I don't even know where you get this stuff. So you say shit like some sort of quote unquote traveler exists and that the Raven Queen, Kronos, and Kadros are evil when all they've done is help this town. Like, it wasn't until we started worshiping them and praying them that we had better crops and better business. Like, how is that evil? You also spread horrible stories about the old heroes, the siblings of Valor, and how a lot of them were actually evil. Like, this sounds ridiculous. You sound absolutely, positively bonkers. And then you don't just stop there. You take it a step further in saying that the Raven Queen likes to corrupt people and kill people. And what is corruption anyway? And you don't make any sense. And I don't like you spreading this sort of just nonsense to my town, especially not when my daughter's out for the festival. So the sheriff might have been kind enough not to arrest you, but I'm gonna make you leave. So either you walk out of here, little elf, or I will throw you out of here. And he does. He
Whoa.
looks pissed.
Can I get hi?
Tail.
It's a me. This person is saying all this to Fynn right now while we're in a group together.
Me?
No, this
Or
this
who's-
Oh, no.
this
No, this is-
Goliath
sorry.
is saying it to a I can't remember if I said half elf or elf, but anyway, some sort of elven wizard performer who has been performing without a permit and spreading the messages that this Goliath just said they were spreading.
Gotcha. Okay, I was about to like jump in, but maybe I'll jump back out.
You can come look at textiles with me.
Wait, so this person this Goliath just rolled up
Yeah.
and started talking shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spaced out a little bit.
What was that, Flex?
This is where the illusionist is? The candy syrup?
Yeah, they're talking to the illusionist. Like, they're yelling at them, telling them they need to leave town.
Do we like the illusionist?
They seem cool.
They
Okay.
seem cool. I
Cool,
just
I do
defended
not
them.
like them.
I just defended
Fynn
them
kind
to
of already
the.
like.
I already defended them to the sheriff.
Amazing.
So
Can I like pop myself in between the illusionist and this dude and be like, hey buddy, we need to take it down a notch. I don't know. You're kind of You seem like you got a lot of fire, and maybe it's like time to chill out a little bit.
Oh dear.
Ixnay on the down K.
Yes, do a persuasion check for me.
I would like to allow.
Can I real quick cast guidance on Basil, please? I
Yes,
don't
you
want
may.
him to get fucked.
And I would also like to let Basil roll with advantage because
Oh no! Okay.
I'm terrified now.
Oh, okay.
Basil just rolling up to this Goliath like, whoa, dude, you
There we
you
go.
gotta simmer down, man.
Okay, you can add a D4 to that
Fuck,
from
I
my
want
guidance.
to do an insight check on the Goliath as well while Basil's getting up in his face.
You can add a D4.
From guidance.
Ba. Okay, so that's 24.
Nice.
Whew.
So he does like he's still pretty red in the face, but he takes a couple of deep breaths and he goes, you're right. The Raven Queen and Kronos and Kadros would never approve of such violence.
Yep.
It's like they're baiting me to hit them because who just wants to stand by and listen to someone spout such horrible nonsense about their beloved gods? Like, seriously? Gods corrupting people, making them evil? What is this, like some sort of like fairy tale or like very obscure D&D podcast? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, the second theory, pretty great. Pretty great. But I gotta tell you, bud, this whole, like, your one lane is the right way. Maybe not the way to go about life, especially when you could be respecting other people's religious beliefs.
Oh, no.
Instead of,
Wrong town. I just, can I like poke Basil very call? I just be like, wrong town, don't do this here, please. This is not,
never
people don't
mind.
want to hear this.
Love the Raven
Thank
Queen.
you.
We go to breakfast every Sunday.
We appreciate your enthusiasm, so thank you.
Yep.
This is when Pokia pops up offering the French toast for sure.
Sorry, I thought that was a good moment to like squeeze in and have Basil be like, "All right, everybody chill out," but maybe it wasn't.
No. You had the I'll kind of like. Hopefully the Goliath goes away, but I will sort of lean into you and explain like, yeah. So this town. Sorry, hold on. From what I can hear, this town does not take kindly to those who. Well, it depends on who you speak to. There is the All Faith Church, who are a bit more accepting, and then there are the people who worship Kadros, Kronos, and the Raven Queen, who are very dedicated, including the Goldenrods, who I am here to see. And at this point, I'll turn to the half-elf and go, I didn't catch your name.
Well, we haven't really had a chance to talk, and
No. I am so sorry that you get so much abuse for just doing minor illusion. Good lord.
So
It's just a spell.
Despite this like bickering going on, they do start to do their illusion magic again. But what's really interesting about them is while they are doing a cantrip, they also cast a spell, and kind of noticing that the Goliath still is pretty pissed. It isn't backing off while they're doing their illusion cantrip. The cast whole person, and you connect the dots as the Goliath suddenly freezes and looks like awkwardly rigid. Well, now we're nice and calm, right? And you never really did appreciate my shows because you never really sticked around long enough. And the half elf friend of yours kind of rubs it in and makes the leaves dance right in front of the Goliath's eyes.
Can I kind of walk up to him? I would like to walk up to him and just go, I could go back to my hometown and tell people that, well, perhaps other people are a bit more violent with their worship of my god. Do you want me to tell them that? I'm very good at remembering faces. I can tell them.
And names.
Or are you going to back off? Well, I know you can't answer me because you are a little paralyzed right now, but
the first thing you were talking?
Yeah, so the Goliath just like obviously can't talk, but like he can move his eyes, so he does kind of like look at you, and he manages to like force his like eyebrows to move just a little, and like he's still like scowling at you just a little bit.
Cadris would be very disappointed in you. Why don't you make him proud and walk away?
Ooh. Lim does that in character, by the way. A little. Ooh.
So
Fynn fights back a grin.
yeah, so your new friend's pretty happy. Goliath's not happy. You're all kind of standing there, and your new friend kind of waits a second to see what the Goliath does, and when the Goliath doesn't look any more angry and kind of like eyebrows slowly relax, they release their cantrip, and then after releasing, not the releasing cantrip, they release the whole person, and after releasing whole person, I'm just looking at something real quick. They do something even more interesting, something that you haven't really seen before. So they draw up whole person, and in place of whole person, they cast 2 cantrips at once. So they have the illusion still going, and then they cast a message, and you can't hear what they say, but whatever it is, the Goliath starts to get really red in the face again, but then looks like your group, your party, reluctantly backs down and then like stomps away.
Oh man, I thought we were goners. We need to stop picking fights with guys much bigger than us.
We did not pick the fight, he picked the fight. He came up and started yelling.
I'm 6'3", so like... So
that guy was taller than you.
I keep forgetting that Basil's like actually really tall.
Yeah, Basil's 6'3". I just want to tell people at home, Basil's 6'3". Fynn is only like 5'10". Basil is canonically the tallest member of the party, except for friends I think might also be 6'3", but like, good God.
I, like, in my head, he does slouch down, so, like, he's shorter most of the time, but, like, right now, he's like, I'm pretty tall, so his shoulders are back.
Oh, you're right. Looking at Basil.
Oh, am I alright?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry I spaced out for a while there, guys. But,
That's
you know,
all right.
I'm doing pretty good. Feel pretty good about this. Don't feel great about what happened just then, but feel good about everything else.
Well, I kind of maybe noticed that the half-elf's still there, and I say, in my, Leslie Larry persona, I just kind of go, well, I did hear they were a little enthusiastic, and enthusiastic was heavily euphemistic for a little bit crazy. So,
well,
and I still didn't get your name. I look at the half-elf. I perhaps I should introduce myself, and I hold out a hand and I go, my name is Leslie Larry.
They go, it is nice to meet you, but instead of shaking your hand, they put like a leaf in your hand, and they go, that's my card. And at first it just looks like a fucking leaf they pick up off the ground, but as you pull your hand back, the like parts of the leaf crumple away till it is a rectangle, and then words pop up on that rectangle, and that rectangle says the Autumn Wizard on the front, and then on the back there's just a little Remembrance Guild symbol.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. I will nod. Man, it's killing me that I don't have a message. Can I just sort of surreptitiously make sure that people aren't like looking, or at least like listening in? Because the wall servers in this place.
Technically, Callie and Lim have already done that. So, I mean, I guess if you want to like recant that, because we definitely already rolled like some checks earlier.
No, I think I could like make eye contact with Lim and just thumbs up or something. Just make sure.
Still kind of following us.
Wait, is there
Okay.
something following us?
Yeah, there's 2 people.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, because I missed that
I
part.
didn't spot the third,
And
which was
I'm
the
gonna say that at this point, the Autumn Wizard clocks the 2 people too, and kind of after noticing them, they go, "Wait, I have an idea," and they pull out some more leaves from their bag, and they go, "This looks weird, but just listen. So if you would like to talk without being overheard, and I don't really know what your thing is because Farron didn't tell me much. Anyway, if you eat these leaves, you can cast message until you go to the bathroom. So while the leaf is in your body, you can cast message. So here's a leaf to
Oh.
eat.
Does the leaf taste like anything?
It tastes
Well, I
like
was
a
a little
leaf.
hungry coming here.
It tastes like a... Okay.
to see if it's fey bullshit.
I eat the leaf.
I also
Yeah.
immediately eat the leaf.
Hold on, it's in my hands. Sorry, y'all. You can't just take stuff out of my hands. I'm sorry.
We literally
If
all
you
just
want
reach
it,
over,
you
grab a
need to-
leaf, and just shove it into our mouths.
I have more
I'll
leaves
tolerate
if you
it.
want more leaves.
Yeah, you do that, and I'll cast Guiding Bolt on you.
Kokia is
I'm not
getting
even
the
kidding.
leaves off the ground, whether
I'm
or
not
not
okay
they
with
were
that.
from the wizard
do
or not.
I will.
I'm pretty
So
sure that
if
was a
you-
regular leaf.
Yeah, so if you eat a leaf off the ground, it does nothing except get a little dirt in your mouth. If you eat a leaf from the Autumn Wizard, you can now cast message until the next time you go pee pee or poo poo. And
How many leaves are there?
there's enough
Sorry.
where
Can we
each
have a
person in the
pee-pee
party
poo-poo
can have one.
count?
God. How many are there?
There's enough for the whole
There's 2
party.
pee-pee poo-poos now.
Okay, when
Can-
I'm offered one, can I check to make sure there's no fey bullshit to it? Because I don't trust people.
Yeah, you can do an Arcana check if you want.
How many leaves are there? I've asked this like 3 times. I'm sorry.
There's enough for
Sorry.
the whole party, so
You're
there's
good.
1,
Oh,
2,
great, okay.
3, 4, yeah.
Yeah. I'll
A
plan it
lot
out.
of you.
I'm
What
like
should I roll?
6. I'm probably thinking of that.
Avery, what should I roll to figure out if there's any faintness to them concerning my background?
Yeah, you can all roll like an Arcana check if you want.
Oh,
I
heck,
took
sure.
a picture
why
of
not?
it because we got a nat 20. I just want to be good. Share.
I know, I'm trying to figure out when that nat 20 is gonna actually, like,
You're
do something.
Gimme.
Give me more. Give me more.
Pretty
God.
scared.
I love it. Like,
Oh, nice.
at first I thought coming in, maybe we'd be a little more serious, and then here we are eating leaves. Magical
Yep.
leaves.
Right?
I
That's
haven't
out the
eaten one
window.
yet. I am watching Kokia and Callie wars over these leaves right now, wondering if it's even going to be worth it if I eat one.
I'll eat
Well,
one.
I mean, Cokia just fully flat just shoved it in her face. Callie's like, this seems sus as fuck.
I think
I got a nat 20, so I'm highly focused on this.
Basil looked at it and was like, "All right, seems like some bullshit," but then like just immediately inhaled the leaf.
Yeah,
Slurp.
so
Wait, not slurp.
so Callie, well, I'm gonna say probably everyone but Lim. You kind of like give your some of you more closely than others because I know Kogia was really into the leaves, but some of you to various degrees kind of like inspect your leaf, and it isn't until your gaze shift from the leaf to the Autumn Wizard that you realize that the leaf. Is it a weird magic item? Yes, but it is a magic item, so there's nothing fey about the leaf. But there is something fey about the Autumn Wizard. And it isn't until, you stop inspecting the leaf and shift to the wizard that you notice that their pale skin has a faint orange tint to it, and along their neck you can see some veins, but the veins aren't regular veins, they're like maple leaves forming the veins. So you kind of get the vibe that the Autumn Wizard is either partial or full fae, maybe. Either way, they're not just like a regular half elf.
So eating this thing from them will not bind me in a weird ass contract.
No, it will not.
Okay, I
Half
will.
fey anyway. I like the leaf.
So I'm gonna say that for the people who've asked passed the little like vibe inspector check, you notice that it is a maple leaf, so there is a bit of like a maple flavor in limb. They gave you a leaf. Most of them are maple, but you got one that wasn't, and yours literally just tastes like if you picked up grass and put grass in your mouth.
Oh, I regret that.
That wasn't that bad. That's pretty good.
I'm gonna chase it down with another bite of French toast.
Maple leaves and French toast.
Hey, you're the ones with the maple leaves. I just got the regular ass leaf.
Oh, right. Okay, you just
You
straight up
get
ate
a
a
maple
leaf.
leaf. Mine's just a regular leaf, man.
I kind of lean over to Fynn and like kind of whisper something to them.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want us to hear? Because I can take my headset off.
Oh no, you guys can still like hear. It's just like I feel like Basil is Fynn adjacent right now. So Basil leans over to Fynn and is like, I'm just trying to like whisper it so the wizard doesn't hear, not so like the entire party can't hear if they want to.
Potty.
Did you eat one of the leaves that they offered?
Oh my gosh, I did.
We can just message each other, yeah.
Basil points at Fynn. And wait, that's not actually how message works, is it?
No, it is. That's exactly how it works. You point at someone you want to send a message to, and it telepathic. Yeah, that's exactly how it works.
Basil points at
right.
Fynn and does like a little bop, so he's like pointing at everybody in the party except for the wizard, and kind of just says, by the way, this situation seems kind of sketch, so I just wanted y'all to know, for some reason, I can charm person now. So just so everybody knows that, it's why I can charm person. A little bit of a traumatic background thing, but just in case, that's needed in this weird town. Okay, goodbye. I'm hanging up the phone now. And then he stops pointing.
Oh,
we need to protect Basil at all costs. Oh my god. I don't even message back. I just nod like, that's definitely a weird thing to say, but alright. Okay. Would I be able to clock I know that, Callie and Lim noticed the two people following us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would point to you guys and just like, hey, so that Goliath was kind of like I didn't spot them, but there are two others who have been following us for a while. I've been trying to keep an eye on them.
I'll message back. What do the two other people look like?
Yeah,
They look like
A-holes. They look like A-holes.
So the two other people, so this is like an autumn festival, so some people are wearing regular clothes, some are wearing costumes. The two people following you, they have kind of like just regular farmer clothes, like, simple shirts, either brown or blue pants and like some boots on. But they're both wearing like jack-o'-lantern masks, so you can't see what their race is or anything like that.
Ah, beans. Okay.
You can't see their hands or anything?
Yeah, they're also wearing gloves, so.
I think it's time for a costume party.
Costume party?
I'll find known. I would have brought my own costume. This is my costume, dresses, and investments.
Oh, speaking of, I forgot to pick a mask for the session. That's what Lim's wearing right now is a cool mask. I just don't know which one yet.
Also a pumpkin mask, and you're like, we're on the same team.
Put pumpkin mask. Hey guys, do you need some help following those guys? I definitely wasn't with them 2 seconds ago.
I'll try to keep an eye on them as we go, but don't we need to get to like where we're going?
Get to Finn's parents? Yeah. I'll message the party and be like, the sheriff told me where to find them. They're in the parade, which worries me a little bit. Because if Farron is right and my parents are corrupted, that would be really bad. Because, like, it's kind of hard to, like, make your parents respect you when they're, like, super into a god that you don't worship anymore. I'm revealing too much. We should go. Yeah, so my parents are kind of Kados crazy. Yeah. Uh-oh.
I mean, this whole town is, but yeah, they especially. The autumn music says.
Yeah, they're... Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to keep an eye out on those two if we want to head towards the center of town, because when stuff starts popping off, it's really going to pop off. Also, Autumn Wizard, thanks for this. This is a nice trick.
Yes, thank you, Wizard. This was very interesting, and do go find that permit, please. Or make a fake one, at least.
Well, I was working on it, but she kind of interrupted me before I finished the leaf one, because the leaf one's supposed to turn into, like, a real one, but she caught me, like, halfway through, and yeah, it's a bit of a mess. But, you know, I am a bit of a traveling performer, so I tend to forget about permits, but I will say the one pro about failing permits is I make for a good distraction. So I noticed you got 2 pumpkin idiots following you. I don't really know what that's about, but I could find out and do a little magic, something a bit fancier than this, and like they motion to like their little like weave illusions. And they say, so I can't be everywhere, and I can't. There's only so much I can do, but I don't really know why you're looking for the goldenrods, because Farron didn't really go into much detail, but they did tell me enough where I'm willing to help you, and I know that you're either trying to get into the guild or are in the guild, or I don't know, something. Either way, just some advice amongst friends. Keeping the demigod with you when they motion to end, great idea. Touching the goldenrods, bad idea. Letting the goldenrods touch you, bad idea. Going inside the church, which is their home turf, bad idea. Resolving this sooner rather than later, good idea. Stopping the parade from happening, also good idea, unless you want to deal with a whole town of corrupted people, because rumor has it that the whole corruption thing is going to be spread by the candy that, you know how they throw candy out in parades? Rumor has it that they're going to put some corruption on the candy and then throw candy, and everyone likes candy, so then the whole town be corrupted through candy, which I don't know if it's disturbing in more ways than one, because how could you do that to candy? Also, I guess it's a metaphor for caddies, and also I don't want to be corrupted by evil gods. So anyway, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go try to distract our friends. And if you ever need me, you got my card, and they hand your party one more leaf, and then they skip away.
I think it's almost break time, actually.
It is. So I think
it is break time.
We are gonna take our 5-minute break now, and then we will come back to keep playing. So let me throw the be right back screen up.
I have a really cool idea once we get there.
Oh, okay.
Dun dun
Sorry,
dun.
no spoilers. Oh, fuck. Uh-oh. I was like... So sooner Avery's like, hey... So Avery messages me a couple weeks back and is like, hey, for no reason at all, what does your character's hometown look like? And I'm like, Avery, I do in fact only have half a brain cell, but that half brain cell is intelligent enough to figure out why you're asking me this. So yeah.
I like how that was like, for no specific reason.
I don't think that's what they actually said, but it kind of had that tone of like, the Avery totally was just like, hey, can I get some more from you real quick about your character's hometown? I'm like, sure. I do like me some world building. Fear. Yeah. Sorry, I feel bad. Like, I'm just like taking charge, but like, I feel like that's sort of what Finn's doing. You know what I mean? Just being like,
right. Yeah,
well,
I wasn't sure if the cantrip was gonna hit everybody, including the Autumn Wizard, which is why I was trying, like, kind of was trying to be like, not say your parents.
I'm pretty sure message is only one person, but like, I mean, fuck, I don't know. These are magical leaves. We could hit multiple people.
Who knows? Like, who knows what happens?
Yeah, we've seen the raw rules of message, and we're like, this is a nice suggestion. Let's focus a little bit. Who needs rules?
As soon as they said stop, it might be a good idea to stop the parade. Flux and I are both like, oh, we can stop a parade.
Oh yeah.
Just set it on fire. As soon as Avery mentioned, like, oh, someone like lights up, I'm like, oh my god, please burn down one of the stalls, because Fynn does not like the vibe here anymore, because he's been out for long enough to realize that the vibe here is so fucked up.
I was gonna try.
Flux, your gif of NSYNC, like, that's exactly, I actually imagined, like, boy band dancing was what Basil was doing when he was, like, finger pointing at everybody. So that was perfect.
I'll be your backup character.
Yes.
Your backup character is just one of the guys from NSYNC.
Every conversation Kokia and Basil have from now on is just, like, via message and NSYNC dancing.
I mean,
Incredible.
Lim does have a background as an entertainer, so as far as you guys are concerned, Lim is a member of NSYNC. I can be any member of NSYNC at will.
Oh yeah, you're a changeling. You can just
all of them at once.
I'll be Justin Timberlake for the rest of the match, or for the rest of the session.
So you are shifted into the body. God, I actually don't know the members of NSYNC other than Justin Timberlake.
That's the only one I know.
Okay, cool. You're shifted into the body of one of the other guys, and then you have the mask of Justin Timberlake to confuse people. You're like, I am the entirety of NSYNC. It's like, aren't there like 3 more guys?
What are, in fact, the members of NSYNC?
Joey Fatone's Frosted Tips.
Oh, Jodie Fatone, yeah.
I was thinking Frosted Tips, yeah.
They all did at one point.
That's true.
What a word bandana.
Yeah, that.
All of them.
Jody? Maybe not confused again. It's one of the ones that don't matter as much, I guess. I don't know. Kidding. Fully kidding.
Pain.
Oh my god.
They're the same age, okay? So Candy has the corruption. We need to figure out what the candy is before they can start passing it out.
Does this
Well,
mean
we
all
know
the
that-
candy I stole I should leave?
Who knows?
I could distract them if y'all want.
We have half of the candy already in Kokia's pockets.
No, we're gonna get distraction down.
I don't know if that.
We're good.
That felt more like flavor text, but if it. Look, I'm not seeing any checks, so. Ferenz made a sleight of hand check forever ago, but. I don't think it's that candy. I think it's different candy, but that's not a bad idea.
And I'm back.
Just y'all steal the candy and distract. Hey,
Back.
Whoa.
so
I
Hale
was-
had an idea.
I actually was back for a little bit. I was like, I came back at. We were talking about dancing while casting message, and then shapeshifting.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Timberlake. It was so
Us being
funny.
like, oh yeah, Joey Fatone, Justin Timberlake, and the other 3.
And the other 3 that
So
sort
mean.
of don't matter.
There's more men than
Which is not
Justin
true.
Timberlake. Just kidding.
Wait, Lance Bass matters.
You
Or
know
is
what?
that,
You're right.
Yeah.
No, Last Pants does. Lance. What? Last,
Last
Pants.
That's my new cover name. That
Last
should be one of your
Pants.
disguises.
What shall I
That's
know?
the
Last Pants.
It don't matter, so you see the shape of my heart.
The name of the VOD is Last Bance.
No, that's
That's the episode name.
when Lim
The
shifts into a nondescript member of NSYNC. It's gonna be Last Pants.
It's all 5 of them together. Like a horrifying. All right, anyway, I think Hale had an idea for what we could do. I think.
Yes.
/ Basil had an idea.
So Basil just like casually grabs Theodore and who got past the last leaf?
I'll say that it was me since I had like the lowest of like the perception checks, and I just got the regular leaf.
You also ate a regular leaf.
I had a regular
Avery,
leaf.
I thought you said we got like one extra leaf just randomly.
No.
Right at the end.
I
We got
didn't.
one for each of the party members.
I kind of want to see what you have in mind, so I'm gonna retcon it and say that you're gonna you're gonna give this.
We
rat
had a couple
leaf.
extra.
I'm so sorry. Anyway,
No worries.
Basil just like kind of is like, so I know what we're doing is probably time sensitive right now. Honestly, I've been chilling with my rat for a while. But it would be maybe an idea if we were to pass a rat-sized leaf to Theodore, because Hug seemed to know him, and Hug got, possessed by the Raven Queen, and maybe, I don't know, he could give us some, like, insight on the overarching of what the heck we're doing. If he knows how to cast messenger.
I was supposed to say, if we give message to Theodore, can we talk to him?
Well, till he poops, at least.
Well,
Theodore, don't
That's how it
you
works.
poop.
You're not allowed to poop anymore.
Oh, God. This is the real race against the clock to see if we can message us before
Alright.
that happens.
Everybody in favor of Theodore eating a leaf, raise your hand.
I've already taken one of these and I'm just holding it up to Theodore.
Allie raises her hand. She wants to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, you give a leaf to Theodore, and it takes him a second to like really process and realize what it does. And as soon as he does, he points his little rat finger at Basil and goes, "Really, a unicorn onesie?"
is it like a really deep
Priorities.
man voice?
Yeah, it's
Really?
like a really
A
deep man
unicorn
voice.
onesie?
Really, a unicorn onesie?
Basil points a finger back at Theodore and says, "Listen up, buddy. You don't work or pay for any of our food, so honestly, like, when you can give me money for that, you can complain about the unicorn onesie."
Be nice to Theodore.
Listen,
When you get a
You can't
job,
hear
you can
this.
buy your
People-
own clothing.
people
You
don't
can't hear this, it's
pay
on message.
rats. People don't pay rats. If anything, they try to kill me 99% of the time. So excuse me for not having a copper, which, by the way, would be the size of my head. How do I carry around money? Please tell me.
Well, you know what? I'm so sorry that I cared enough about you in the cold to put you in a unicorn onesie. I'm so sorry.
And he just sighs and he goes, "Well, when you put it like that, I suppose it's fine for now, but I would really like to not be a unicorn. So if we could find some rat clothes, I would really appreciate it."
Like a rat onesie?
You can take Theodore around because I wanted to look at seeing if they could find some more like civilian appropriate clothing.
So at your suggestion of a rat wearing a rat onesie, Theodore just face palms.
Lim, I pull out my old Cadros vestments. And I just very quietly go, no, I message you and I go, "This might help you blend in, or it could be very, very bad. But do you want to try
Actually,
these?"
there was this adorable little paisley blazer down the way that I was eyeing like this whole time.
And the people in this town make pays. All right. You know what? Hell yeah. I put the vestments back in my bag.
Somebody in the chat said that we should go back to Honey and ask if they know someone who makes rat clothes.
Well, we were kind of on a time crunch. Maybe if we have time and everyone doesn't get corrupted.
And Theodore, speaking of time crunch, his like little nose like wiggles in the air. I smell candy, a lot of it, in that direction. And he points to like where the sheriff had also directed that the golden rods were gonna be, so it seems like the floats and the candy are all in like the same location.
Nice.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
So y'all wanted to steal the candy.
I think
like,
it would
take
be a
care
better
of it.
idea to burn it.
Well,
Just
that's
get
going
rid
to
of
cause
it.
a scene. Is there some way we can? Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it. How do we just? Is there some way we could distract me? I mean, I guess I could start preaching about Cadros. I could just pull together what I remember from my parents' sermons and just cobble together a Frankenstein's monster of like pro Cadros shit and just give everyone a rousing speech before the parade starts while the rest of the party goes and takes shit.
Also,
Are
I
there
just want
any
to say the mention of burning things. One of you does have Steven, and Steven goes, "Yay, arson!"
Arson it is.
Are there
Please
birds
don't.
around?
Please, I message you and I go, please don't burn down my hometown. Just the idiots, just the assholes.
Birds?
Not every.
Just
Yeah,
the birds.
Cookie wants to know if there are birds around.
Are there birds?
I message Kokia and I'm like, just so you know, I can throw fireballs. So let's fucking do it.
I recently learned how to burn fire.
That's
Got a couple extra
amazing.
kebabs?
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh, mission solved. Just
Right.
kidding.
Yeah, let's at least start heading over there and like see if we can suss out like where shit is, where I could maybe jump up and start distracting people.
People with
Yeah.
knives are good at distracting too.
I would
So-
like to go with my plan if that's okay with y'all.
Okay.
If we're being silly. If anyone has a better idea, feel free to suggest it, but this is something that Fynn knows really well, and I can be very loud and very distracting.
What exactly is the plan again?
Well, very loosely, I jump up on a soapbox somewhere. I distract the people I give like a little pep talk before the parade of like, Cadros will be proud of you. This is what we've been working for so long. They'll shower you with love, etc. And y'all take care of the candy. But what y'all do with the candy, I don't know.
And
I like that
remember,
idea,
if you
actually.
touch corruption directly, you'll get corrupted. So you need to like.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, fireball might be a good idea.
That's what I thought. See? That's what I thought. Arson always solves problems.
Yeah, and so I see that Flux asked how many random animals are near. So, the Raven Queen, Kronos, and Kadros love their birds. So there's a lot of ravens and owls and some pigeons. There's also squirrels and rats and stuff like that. Yes, Flux, that are here. Like they're just. It's a small like rural town, so like they got a lot of like small creatures that just like run around or fly around. You know.
It could be worth it, Flux.
No, that seems like a really good idea.
Yeah. Distractions while the people who have fire / can do distance shit get the corruption.
What spells do I have?
Yeah, I'm willing to try it.
I also just really want to try one of them kebabs, honestly. And if it makes me breathe fire, that's even better.
Hell yeah. Okay.
So there's a bunch of rats around, or smaller mammals.
Yeah, so you got a few rats, a few squirrels, a few birds.
Yeah, snickerdoodle.
Okay. Snickerdoodle, yeah. I want to combine speak with animals with animal friendship, and all the legged animals. I want to suggest to them that there are predators encircling the town. And try to create a panic.
Oh, love me a good old-fashioned panic.
Oh
Let's
my
do it.
god.
Do you need help
Okay.
with that? Can I give you something for that?
Sure.
You want to do bardic inspiration on this? I want this to go. I want to see a panic here.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Do they need to make
okay.
a check?
Yeah, I figure animal friendship. It's a wisdom save of 11. But anything with the beast intelligence is 4 or lower automatically succeeds.
Oh shit.
Or wait, am I reading that right? A wisdom saving throw if their intelligence is 4 or lower, rather. If it's
So-
5 or higher, the spell fails.
So the question is, how smart are these woodland creatures?
And city
I-
creatures.
No offense, but I doubt they're very smart.
Well, the people aren't that smart. How smart do you think the animals are?
Oh, but
Affected.
Well, Theodore's not originally he's a person.
So I'm just gonna say that this fucking works. And what's really funny is there was a few mammals you saw out. Like there's a few like on the streets and roofs. There's a few that you saw, and they start panicking. But you're so good at this that rats start coming out from like basements. So, like you're scaring the rats and other small creatures out of their hiding spots, and now there's just like little animals running all over the road.
I have to grab Doodle to keep her from taking off. Here, it's fine.
All right,
Fine.
candy time, y'all.
It was like, thank you, mother, for the feast.
Thank you, mother. No, please. Okay. Yeah, no one eat the candy. That would be bad.
Who wants kebabs?
I'll take one of those.
Yeah. Start passing out kebabs. There's a lot.
Can we? I'm really sorry to do this, but can we like actually take care of the candy instead of doing this other stuff? Because like
Yeah.
we're almost
That's-
done with the session, and also it's kind of a time crunch, and also I can't tell what Alicia and Flux are saying because they keep cutting in and out.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, it's okay. I mean,
So the distraction has been made. That's what
Yeah.
that last
yeah.
part.
Have people been chased away from where the candy is?
Yeah, so a lot of people are like running, screaming because of the rats or trying to catch, the animals or whatever. A lot of people have like vacated the area, but there's one little problem, and that little problem is, there is a float with the bag of candy on it, and that little problem is your 2 pumpkin friends and your mother, Fynn, have not budged from their
fuck.
spot on the float.
I would like to say that I have Charm Person and 3 empty spell slots.
I also have Charm Person and 3 empty spell slots.
So I think Basil kind of nudges Fynn because Fynn seems like the leader in kind of this what's happening right now, and it's like, hey, long story. Anyway, the thing I mentioned earlier, I can make these nightmarish seeming people. No offense, I know that's your, but I can make.
Okay, I will say
them like me.
Actually, can I point out my mom actually doesn't look like Fynn much at all. She's a tiefling. But I will tell you, like, yeah. So that's my mom. But doesn't Charm Person? Don't they know that you tried to cast it? That's a really big
Yep.
risk, Basil. My mom
They
can
do
be
know.
pretty scary. My mom can be pretty scary, and also those two were following us the whole time.
Do we want to take the risk with Charm Person or no?
I mean,
What
I
would
feel
be
like
a
this is going
safer
to be.
option.
I mean, I feel like this is going to be a fight.
A fight.
I mean, how else are we going to get there?
So the 2 people that were following us are now like
They're on the float.
on the float
candy.
with
With the
Finn's
candy.
parents,
My mom, yeah,
with just Finn's mom,
Yeah.
with the candy.
yeah, a tiefling woman with like the Azula bob that she gets, like in season 3.
Oh, Flex wants to do a nature check on the people on the float.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Ooh.
my mother's nature is that she fucking sucks. Anyway, in character, I want to fix her anyway.
Yeah, so Kokia, so there's the two pumpkin-headed pumpkin mask, I should say, humanoids. The one on the left, what's freaky about them is they're not actually a humanoid, but rather a really complex mimic that's been like made to be human shaped and is like walking on two legs. So they're basically the left pumpkin mask person is actually really a pumpkin. It's kind of like a mix of like a golem mimicky thing. Like that's basically just a plant turned into a murder pumpkin is what that one is. The other one seems to be like not plant, but you're not really sure what the other one is.
Okay.
Okay, so I couldn't charm person the
So technically,
pumpkin
there's only
people.
there's only 2 people that would be susceptible to charm person, and the other one is a
Oh.
mimic.
That's a good point, actually. So it would be possible. Yeah. Okay,
Basil,
yeah.
I have an interesting idea. But I know for a fact you're going to be on board with me on this one.
I'm already on board, buddy.
I know. Let's do it. Basil and Lim are going to like high five, and I for one would like to cast charm person on. I guess I'll go for Finn's mom. Let's just do it.
Okay, and I will cast charm person on the pumpkin that can be charmed.
Okay, so remind me what I need to do. Is it DC 12? Let me look at the
They have
stat
to get
block.
a wisdom save of 11 or higher, I think.
All right, let me just look up a stat block real quick.
Okie dokie.
Well, my mom has to get a 12 or higher because Lim's DC is 12.
Yeah.
Nat 1, nat 1, nat 1.
So this is gonna be Finn's mom right here. And then this will be the pumpkin person. That's not the plant one. Oh, we did that backwards. Hold on. So Finn's mom got
Oh my
a
fucking
4,
God.
and the pumpkin mask person that's actually a person got a 7.
Oh yeah.
So we've done it, huh?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So the other pumpkin person is just plant, right?
Plant mimicky
Yeah.
thing that upon seeing you, the mask cracks and it shows like a jaw, and the jaw opens and it growls at you.
Interesting. Shoot. I mean, I could try to light him on.
Look, you guys are both charm person, Mrs. Goldenrod, and the pumpkin person. Why not just go talk to them?
Oh,
Get
that's
them away
true.
from the thing.
I was
We can set it
gonna
on fire.
suggest lighting them on fire too, but
Please don't burn my mom.
Arson fixes everything.
Yeah.
As a message to Fynn, Callie will say, I also still have my bracelet here that will let me teleport through space. So, I mean, you guys could also distract and I could do some stuff on the float.
I messaged back, I didn't know you had that. That's really cool.
Yeah, this thing that I'm always wearing, and she'll point to it's like a bracer, her arm bracer. That's what this does.
Oh, you got it working! Hell yeah!
The bracer's always been working. It's the gun I can't get working.
Oh, gotcha. All right. I don't have anything to set the thing on fire, but
I mean, I
Basil
can try
and
some. We'll see if I don't know. Maybe
first we gotta first we gotta get the three of them away.
Yeah.
Just the two of them. I don't mind burning the mimic.
I have a cantrip, and I can set the candy on fire. So we just need to get them away, and then
Yeah.
I have produced flame. Cool. Who's gonna go talk to them?
I
Do you
think
guys want me to come with? I can
mean,
guidance you guys.
either that,
you
or I was
need.
gonna say, I mean, me and Basil have already charmed them, so they basically would just
Yeah.
follow us wherever now. So all we have to do is go up to them and just be like, do our thing. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
You could lure them over to me, maybe? Because I am here ostensibly to be like, oh, I want to learn more about this Church of Cadros that I've heard so much about. But no touchy, obviously.
Kokia and Callie are gonna like wander off to the side and try to like do something to sweep around behind them without us seeing them, basically while you guys are doing your thing, okay?
Good idea.
Good.
So
Set that shit on fire.
That way.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Yeah. I haven't charmed them, but I'm a good liar, so I could just accompany y'all.
So, so is the mimic gonna like attack us if we try to like lure them away from the float? I mean, I guess there's only one way to find out, but
You might want to have the charm people tell the mimic to back down because it is like growling and like ready to bite you.
I'm gonna like put my hand gently on, I guess, Mrs. Goldenrod's shoulder and just be like,
Don't touch her, please.
Don't
Actually,
touch
don't touch her.
okay, never
Yeah,
mind,
she's
don't touch her.
corrupted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll just message you immediately and just be like, don't touch, please. She's corrupted.
Psych, and high five myself.
I reach out and high five you.
What am I? Oh my gosh, I didn't think this far ahead.
Do you want me to?
Kind madame.
Oh.
I noticed that your friend here seems a little aggressive. Is there any way that I could just, reassure you and let them know that there is just absolutely nothing to worry about right now? If you would just follow me this way safely off of the float, that would be phenomenal, ma'am.
And charm person's like, setting in, so she's like a little bit confused, and because she's also corrupted, like that's kind of like making her a little confused too. And it takes her like there's an audible pause before she says, "Why, such a loyal worshiper, I couldn't let my mimic hurt you." And she does call for the mimic to back down. She goes, "I can't believe I was about to have them attack you. I feel so bad." And she, the mimic does call off, and I'm stop, looking like it's gonna attack you. And you guys step down, and step away. And you're having them walk toward Fynn. What was that? That was the plan, correct?
Kind of, just leading them away from the float.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm very obviously just like very flashy, very clearly a worshiper, loyal servant of Cadros, just standing there and waving and smiling.
Okay.
Ooh, also, fun notice. We are currently being rated by Bosscat Designs with a party of 3.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Hello,
Welcome.
Bosscat Designs.
We're wrapping up right now, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for the raid.
So for the sake of time, I'm gonna say that they do end up coming in your direction, Fynn. And although they did come over here and for the most part charmed, your mother kind of shakes a bit as she walks, and she moves to stand by you. And just as she stands by you, her shaking stops, and her head tilts at like a weird angle, almost bird-like. And a voice comes out of her that doesn't sound familiar. It sounds echoey, like it's like the voice is in like a cave or something. And the voice goes, "You may have charmed her, but you can't charm a god. And then, almost as soon as the voice said that, the head untilts and straightens out, and she becomes like fully charmed once again.
I fully put like a hand over my heart, and I'm like, "You must be Mrs. Goldenrod."
So that bit was said, and you're now charmed mother, after having a god speak through her, goes, "Why, I am Mrs. Goldenrod. It's so nice to meet such another fellow worshipper. I don't know your name, but you seem friendly."
Oh, my name is Leslie Larry. I come from Alphos. I heard there was quite a dedication to Cadros in Skystead, and I thought I'd come over with my companions and try. I just sort of waffle on for a bit and like say like it's so good to meet you, and like I just want to fully just like distract her while Callie and Kokia do their thing.
Yeah, so Callie and Kokia, we are a little bit over time, so I'm going to have you wrap up. So if you want to make this explode, you now have the opportunity to make this explode or burst into flames.
Cool. Yeah, we're gonna sneak around the back. What's your plan, Flux?
I'm gonna get off and fail.
Yeah. So Kokia's gonna eat a spicy kebab and fail it, and Callie's gonna realize that her gun is functioning, and she is going to. Oops, pushing other buttons. I'm going to cast burning hands, please. Thank you.
Nice.
That's yeah. So damage for burning hands. This for funsies. That is 15 points of fire damage to the float/candy machine, and whatever Kokia gets for breathing fire and burping all over it.
Yep, so I'm going to say that between the two of you, this sucker and this float is like burning like kindling, and as it burns and turns to ash, black than the normal smoke comes out from it and forms a shape, and that shape is a big raven that goes, "I won't forget this, foolish mortals," and then the smoke fades away.
It's fun.
All right, Kokia, high five. Let's get the fuck out of here now.
How are you?
Oh no!
Oh, and y'all get to high five in person too.
Oh no! Some miscreants have set fire to the float. Oh no!
Oh no!
What do we do?
And the autumn wizard.
Oh god!
The autumn wizard, ever the pal, makes a point of walking with a pack of matches in their hand and goes, "Oops." And Brimstone sees this, and she goes, "That's the last fucking straw. Get back here!" And they like Tom and Jerry chase each other in circles around the town.
I love that.
Oh my god.
Basil and Theodore are just flipping off the raven cloud.
Are there other floats here, or is it just the one?
There are more floats, but the candy was all in one, so the danger has passed. For now, at least.
Okay. Callie will probably still check the others just in case, because she's a paranoid bitch.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
valid.
blame her. So we will continue from here next session, because I do have to go to bed because I got to work tomorrow. But this was super fun. I'm glad that we had some fun tomfoolery. And I'm glad you seemed to. I'm glad you seemed to like our wizard.
Right.
Oh my god. Fynn finally talked to his mom for the first time in like a year.
And
it was to be like, yeah. And then she opened her mouth and Cadris talked through and Finn's like, fuck, damn it. Oh my god. Not the family reunion I was expecting, but hey.
I'm surprised you didn't end on her like immediately.
It's fine.
Wait, is it with us? I at this point I
keep forgetting that
anymore.
I like
Was
how the party's
N
like,
somebody-
we have a little demigod, but we're gonna charm person and burn a float instead.
I completely forgot that Ed
Wait.
was even with
I
us.
also forgot
my
Ed
Ed
God.
was
was with us?
I
I
feel
had
bad.
no idea.
And comes by with like a sack of matches and also drops him like whoops.
Basically. So that is a wrap. Thank you for the raid and listened. And like I said, if you go MWN_pod on Twitter, you can find all our links in our wiki. And we play every other Wednesday, so not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. You'll see us again at 9:10 to 10:45. So thank you so much and good night,
Oh my
everybody.
god. We have another raid covenant. NB
Oh my
Gamer
God.
Bo, thank you for raiding with a party of 6. We literally are about to wrap up.
We were about
Thank
to
you very
wrap up,
much.
but thank you. We
Oh,
love you.
thank you.
Our episodes are on YouTube under Mothcat Gaming if you want to catch up. We also have Mistakes
Woo.
Worthy Podcast on Spotify. So thank you, but we are ending. Love you. Hugs.
Narwhal disturbance.
Narwhal disturbance.